Bu Yunia, silakan dimulai.
Ya, terima kasih Bapak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Bapak Adi dan semua mahasiswi.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Apa kabar nih semuanya? Sehat semua ya Bapak Ibu?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah sehat Ibu.
Ya, senang sekali bisa berkenalan. Ya Bapak Ibu, ini saya di sini insya Allah akan share PowerPoint ya, ada 2 PowerPoint yang akan share di sini, dan yang kedua insya Allah saya akan nanti setelah kita sudah selesai dengan PowerPoint nanti ada questions and answers di Google Classroom. Nanti saya akan share linknya. Jadi begitu sudah selesai presentasi nanti akan saya share, nanti Bapak Ibu bisa langsung jawab. Jadi setiap kali ada PowerPoint itu nanti ada 10 questions ya, I will share with all of you. Nah, terus yang kedua, nanti akan saya share juga beberapa artikel dari ACT ya. Jadi dari situ nanti kita akan Bapak Ibu ada gambaran mengenai metode-metode penelitian yang sudah pernah dibuat dari ACT. Itu yang kedua. Terus yang ketiga, insya Allah nanti dari Google Classroom juga akan saya share beberapa buku metode penelitian. Jadi insya Allah bisa menambah wawasan Bapak Ibu ya di di mata kuliah ini. Ya, ini saya share sebentar ya Bapak, ininya ya, PowerPoint-nya. Terlihat di sini Bapak Ibu?
Terlihat Ibu.
Sudah Ibu.
Alhamdulillah.
Sudah Bu.
Oke. Ya. Oke, untuk yang pertama ini slide yang PPT yang pertama nih ya. Sebentar. Terlihat ini Bapak Ibu ya? Oke. Apakah ini jelas ini Pak?
Jelas Bu, jelas.
Oh, jelas ya.
Jelas, Bu.
Hold on. Oke, ini metode penelitian yang pertama itu kita review sedikit ya Bapak Ibu ya. Pertama itu kita akan describe definition of research problem. Terus the second problem identification, the third problem formulation, fourth research objective, dan the fifth research benefits. Ya, ini saya sebelum saya mulai di sini saya sudah terima ininya ya Bapak Ibu ya, nama-nama mahasiswa di kelas 2024C ya, benar ya Bapak Ibu?
Betul, betul.
Iya ya, ini ya.
Oke.
Oke, sebentar. Ya, masih terlihat di sini. Ya, yes. Oke, yang pertama itu research problem di sini itu specific issue ya, difficulty, contradictions, or gap existing knowledge that a researcher seeks to explore and solve through systematic inquiry. Itu pertama. Kedua, it forms the foundation of any research study, guiding the formulations of research questions, objectives, and methodology. And then the third one in educational research, yaitu research problemnya itu often emerges from classroom practices, learning outcomes, teaching methods, dan educational policies yang dimana require improvement and deeper understandings. Ini basic daripada research problem. The main points of the research problem itu apa? Pertama, should be clearly defined dan researchable using systematic methods. Terus harus significant di mana berkontribusi to development of theory and practice, and then rise from the critical reading, observation, sama experience within the educational context. Dan yang keempat adalah a good research itu harus narrow down a broad topic into a focused, the specific issues ya. Broad topic, coba overview nih kita ya. Online learning in higher education. Research problemnya apa nih? How does the use of online collaborative tools affect students' engagement in higher education? Ini broad topic. Terus ini research problemnya, how does the use of online collaborative tools affect students' engagement in higher education? Nah, jadi kita harus narrow down ya research problemnya. Terus, ask the expert from Creswell, a research problem is educational issues yang concern that researchers examines to gain understanding. Jadi, research problem identifies educational concern that needs investigation from starting point of any research process. Dan yang kedua dari Wisma itu a problem in research is education issue-nya concern or controversy that needs systematic investigations. Jadi Wisma ini views that the research problem as driving force of the study. Jadi something that motivates the researchers to seek solution through the methodical inquiry. Dan yang Gay and Erjan itu highlight that the clarity of the problem directly affects the quality dan focus the research designs dan outcomes. And then from the Frankel et al. Itu a problem is an unanswered questions that a researcher wants to address by collecting and analyzing the data. Conclusionnya apa sih di sini? Creswell say that with educational issue to understand foundation of the study. Wisma say that concern requiring investigations motivates inquiry, and Gay Arshan say that critical step shaping direction and then determines research design. And Frankel et al. Unanswered questions sama leads to data collections. Dari 4 pandangan ya. Okay, the second one is the problem identification. Problem identifications dalam research methodology itu is the process of recognizing and clearly define issue, gap, atau challenge yang dibutuhkan to investigate through the systematic inquiry. Jadi dia to serve the foundation of any research study, guiding the development of research questions, objektifnya dan hipotesisnya. The problem of identification. Creswell said that identifying a research problem involves specifying issues within the broad topic yang leads the need for study and justifying its importance. Jadi stage-nya ini memastikan that the researcher's effort is directed toward an area of significance and visibility. Ini menurut Creswell. Kerlinger and Lee itu describe bahwa the formulation of a clear, precise, meaningful statement of the problem to be solved through scientific method ya. Jadi tanpa proper identification itu akan kurang, lack focus or relevance. Apa sih importance of identifying research problem ini? Pertama itu you determine the directions. Direction of the research, and then it guides the formulation. It helps in selecting appropriate research, design, and methodology, and then ensures that the research is relevant, original, dan contribute to the existing body of the knowledge, and it prevents duplication of existing studies. Ini pentingnya ya, identification of research problem. Menurut Kotari, a well-defined problem itu half solved. This highlights that the clear articulation of a research problem streamlines the subsequent stages of research planning and execution. Apa tuh steps-nya in identifying research problem? Menurut Best and Kahn ini ya, pertama itu issues-nya observation of the environment. The second one is the review of literature. The third, theoretical considerations. And the fourth, practical consideration, feasibility analysis, and then the last one, formulation of the problem statement. Jadi observasi dari lingkungannya ya, issues-nya, challenge-nya, trend-nya. Terus review literature juga, apa sih ininya, gaps-nya, contradict-nya, areas-nya apa sih, untuk further exploration, theoretical consideration, observe problem-nya, relevant dengan teori dan konsep framework. Practical consideration itu answer the problem has practical significance, jadi address to the real world. Dan feasibility analysis to evaluate whether the problem can realistically be studied given time, resources, and data availability. Dan formulationnya of the problem statement itu state itu harus clear, precisely and precisely. Nah, apa itu karakteristik of the good research problem? First one, of course, clarity ya, express and specific. Kedua, researchability, can be investigated using scientific methods. Terus significance, jadi contribute ya, memberi kontribusi pada knowledge or practice. And realistic in terms of scope, ini visibility-nya nih ya, time and resources. And then number 5, ethical acceptability, does not violate ethical principles. And the novelty-nya apa nih? Addresses a gap or unexplored area. Ini karakteristik of a good research problem. Nah, menurut Gay, common resource of research problems, research problem often emerge from the curiosity ya, dari keingintahuan of researchers when they encounter inconsistencies between theory and practice, between expected and observed outcomes. Jadi ada personal experience and professional practice, existing literature and theoretical frameworks, previous research findings and replicate studies, social, educational, dan technologies issues, dan policy or international needs. Itu common sources of research problems ya. Oke, example problem identification misalnya nih. In educational research, peneliti itu might observe despite the integration of digital tools, classroom, student engagement remain low. So after reviewing prior studies, the researchers identify a gap, yaitu few studies have explored how teachers' digital pedagogy influences engagement in hybrid learning environments. Jadi problem is identify as, coba apa nih, the lack of understanding regarding the impact of teachers' digital pedagogy on students' engagement in hybrid learning settings. Ini contohnya nih ya, problem identification. Conclusionnya apa nih? Problem identification itu cornerstone ya of research methodology. It ensures that a study has a clear focus, scholarly value, and practical relevance. And it well-defined problem guides the entire research process from the formulation of hypothesis to the interpretation of the results. Conclusions-nya ini bagian yang kedua ya. Kalau problem formulation ini apa nih problem formulations? Problem formation is the process of clearly expressing, structuring, ya, into apa ini precise, researchable, ya, yang guides the entire research process, dan dia mentransform a broad topic into a specific and clear as well as visible. Problem of formulation. Nah, according to Kerlinger, itu problem formation is the process of stating the problem in a way that is researchable and meaningful. Jadi involves transformation ya dari abstract idea into a specific. It explain juga Creswell that formulating the research problem itu involve narrowing into specific or hypothesis that the study will address. Jadi researchers must define what exactly is being studied and why. Nah, apa itu importance of problem formation? Provide focus and direction to the research. Determines the research design and methodology yang digunakan. Define the scope and limitations, and then help in constructing hypothesis. Ya. And then ensure that the research is feasible, significant, and relevant. The importance of the problem formulations. Nah, menurut Kotari, a properly formulated problem ini apa? Key to successful research. Jadi it persists the right direction. What is the relationship between problem identification and problem formulation? Problem identification ini recognize the problem, what the issue is. Ya, kalau problem formulation itu how the issue will be studied. Nah, example-nya untuk problem identification, students' motivation in online learning is declining. But in problem formation, what are the factors influencing students' motivation in online learning environments at the postgraduate level? The relationship between problem identification and problem formulation. Nah, ini steps-nya apa nih? Step-stepnya menurut Besdenkan, Creswell, and Kumar. Pertama tuh understanding problem areanya, ya. And then you define the problem dalam konteks, you review literature of course, and then narrowing the focus, formulating the research questions or hypothesis, and then you evaluate the feasibility. Steps in problem formulation. And then characteristic of the well-formulated research problem itu apa ya? Creswell, Kotari, and Gay say that first one is the clarity, and then the second one specificity, feasibility, fourth researchability, and then significance, and the last one ethical soundness. Nah, ini karakteristiknya ya of a well-formulated research problem. Forms of problem formulations. Take 3 common forms, yaitu pertama apa nih? Descriptive form, yaitu focus describing situation. Ya kan? Misalnya apa? What are the perceptions of teachers toward online assessment? Ini pertama nih ya. Terus yang kedua, comparative form, yaitu seeks to compare. Misalnya, is there any significant difference in learning outcomes between students using online sama face-to-face? And the third one is relational or causal form, yaitu explore relationship or cause-effect patterns between variables. Misalnya apa nih? How does teacher feedback influence students' engagement in blended learning? Nah, ini contoh 3 common forms. Example of problem formation. Coba misalnya nih, topic area, use of technology in education. Apa identity problemnya? Many teachers are integrating digital tools, but student engagement remain inconsistent. Jadi gimana nih formulated problem statement-nya? To what extent does the integration of digital learning platforms affect student engagement and academic achievement di higher education institution? Nah, research question-nya adalah how does digital learning platform usage influence students engagement levels? Hipotesisnya, increased use of interactive digital platform leads to higher student engagement. Ini example of problem formulation. Common mistakes nih in problem formulation, what are they? As Kumar said that once poorly formulated problems lead to unclear objectives, inappropriate design, and inconclusive result. Jadi should avoid ya para researchers problems that too broad or vague. And then the second one, value-laden or biased problem. The third one, problem they are not researchable or unethical, and repetition already solved or irrelevant problems. Okay, that means problem formulation is the core of research methodology process. A well-formulated problem ensures that the research is systematic, coherent, and purposeful. So itu bridge dari gap between conceptual thinking sama empirical investigation. Jadi guide ke researchers ke valid and meaningful conclusions. Oke, itu yang tadi yang 3 ya. 4-nya coba research objectives apa nih? Research objectives. Specific goals that researchers intend to achieve. Express what the researchers seeks to discover, prove, and understand. Jadi objective transform the research problem into clear focus statements. Research objectives tujuannya nih ya. According to Creswell, research objective ini state research intends to accomplish in the study. Kalau Kotari defines that the purpose is undertaken, yaitu specific aims that the researchers want to achieve at the end of the study. Nah, importance of research objectives nih apa aja sih? Provide direction, help define the scope, guide data collection, facilitate clarity, assist in evaluating results, driving conclusion, and then ensure consistency between the research problem, questions, and outcomes. What are the important objective? Research objective itu give meaning and structure to the research problem and help translate vague ideas into observable phenomena. Okay, research between problem and objective-nya, identify what needs to be studied, and then specify how the study will achieve it. Misalnya research problem nih, show how low engagement online learning environments. Research objektifnya identify, and then you examine, and then you propose. Jadi objektif bridge gap between the problem statement and the research outcome. Type of research misalnya general objective or broad objective. Also called overall aim of the study, to describe the research seeks to achieve general terms sama provide the main focus or purpose of the entire study. Misalnya examine the impact of technology integration of students academic performance. Type of research objective nih ya. Oke, yang B, specific objective. Break down the general objective. Focus on particular aspects ya. Jadi example-nya you analyze, you measure the relationship between, and then you identify the challenges. Okay. Apa sih ini karakteristik all well-defined objective? Clear, you have to be clear, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, sama time bound. This one. The qualities align with the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Yes. Nah, steps-nya apa nih? Research objective, review the research problem, conduct a literature review, define the research scope, formulate the general objective, develop specific objective, sama check for alignment. Okay. Research objective. The effect of blended learning, students' academic achievement. Generalnya apa nih ya objektifnya? To evaluate the effect of blended learning on students' academic performance. Objektifnya apa? To compare, to examine, and to identify. Ini example number 1 ya. Example number 2, social research, yaitu the influence on parental involvement on children's reading habits. General objektifnya apa? To investigate the impact of parental involvement on children reading development. Spesifiknya apa? To determine, and then to analyze, and to identify. Common mistakes nih ya, informative objectives. Objective are too broad, repetition, unrealistic, mismatch, sama too many objectives leading to loss of focus. Okay, conclusionnya, research objective ini are the backbone ya of research study ya. They translate the research problem into clear, actionable goals that guide the design, data collection, analysis. Jadi well-formulated objective ensure that the research remains focused, systematic, and meaningful. Yes. Apa nih benefit of research? Research provides systematic and scientific approach, enhance research quality and credibility, facilitate objective decision making, guide the selection of appropriate methods and tools, and then encourage critical thinking and analytical skills, support knowledge advancement, promotes ethical research practices, improve communication of research findings. Benefits ya, di conclusionnya. Jadi emphasize the research methodology to systematic design of research problem, ensure the objectivity and accuracy. Nah, it gives notes sound methodology, credibility-nya and rigor in the design, data collection, dan analysis phases. Appropriate methodology to lead to objective and data-driven, and highlight a clear understanding of methodology. Jadi membolehkan researchers to choose the suitable tools and technique untuk valid results. Dan juga how methodological understanding foster critical thinking dan reflective practice. And then it affirms juga research methodnya itu contribute ke continual development of knowledge and practice. Dan stress underline the research methodology to include ethical standard untuk safeguard participant and ensure the trustworthy findings. Dan terakhir adalah training enhance researchers ability to report findings systematically. Nah, ini reference-nya. Di sini masih kelihatan ini ya? Lihat Bapak Ibu?
Iya, Bu.
Kelihatan ya?
Iya, Bu.
Oke. Nah, itu yang PPT yang pertama. I will share you the link for the question and answer ya. There will be only 10 questions to answer ya, but you will answer it later on. Oke. Can I continue with the second PowerPoint ya? Bisa ya? Saya lanjut dengan PowerPoint berikutnya ya, Bapak Ibu.
Yes, ma'am.
Bisa ya?
Yes, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Bentar ya. Nih saya lihat nama-namanya. Ini semua hadir di sini ya? All of you present ya? Hadir semua di sini ya?
Iya, Bu.
Ada beberapa yang absen ya? Oh, oke.
Iya, Ibu hadir.
Oke, sip. Nah, saya share yang berikutnya ya, Bapak Ibu ya. Research methodology. Ini harus banyak baca buku ya Bapak Ibu ya. Jadi nanti ke depan bisa tahu mana ininya methodnya yang harus kita pilih. Coba. So. Nah, ini dia. Oke, kelihatan ini Bapak Ibu?
Yes, ma'am.
Ya, can see from here ya. Oke, ini kelihatan ya. Alhamdulillah. Agak sedikit challenging, tapi bagi yang sudah terbiasa, saya yakin semua Anda terbiasa ya. Jadi nanti ini saya selalu biasakan all my students itu to get used with the other language dan bahasa Indonesia. Thus, you are going to have your conference, right, presentation someday overseas. Ya, ada opportunity to present in English, itu you have to speak up with other languages. Jadi saya selalu share with my students, itu biasakan present with bilingual or full in English. Jadi nanti pas di conference yang sebenarnya Anda terbiasa untuk bahasa selain bahasa Indonesia. Insya Allah Anda semua bisa sih, cerdas semua sih, saya yakin. Nih, I just want to share this one ya, with all of you ya. Oke. Jadi ini kelihatan nih Bapak Ibu ya. Gimana ini? Sudah oke? Oke ya. Yes. Malam-malam belajar luar biasa, hebat banget nih Bapak Ibu. Semangatnya luar biasa. Yes. Nah, ini research methodology, but we are going to discuss these 7 points. What is the definition, purpose of research hypothesis? Ya, nanti saya minta some of you read it for all of us ya, some of you ya, taking turns ya. I'm going to call your name ya, oke? Kalau misalnya pas lagi di ini ya, pas lagi on ya. Okay, and then the second one, we are going to talk about characteristic good hypothesis, and then type hypothesis, and then how to formulate step by step the hypothesis, testing and interpretation of hypothesis, and then the relationship between hypothesis, research questions, and theory. And then these are all the examples yang terakhirnya ya. Okay. Definition ya. Okay. Kurota Ayunin, Ibu Kurota Ayunin, okay, could you please read the 2 points of this? What are those? Tentative. That's right. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Ibu. That means tentative ini ya, statement or prediction, definition of purpose of research hypothesis ini ya. And then what is the example? Could you please read? Ibu May Justina, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Aduh,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't speak English.
No problem, it's okay. You just need to read. Baca aja nggak apa, baca. Ayo belajar.
Aduh, ma'am.
Okay, it might.
Wait, ma'am.
Okay.
Aduh,
No problem. Okay.
Example, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
that's right. Good.
It might propose that an independent variable cause of predictor influence independent variable effect or outcome.
That's good. Yes, you can. And what does Fred and
Thank you.
yes, could you please read what does Fred and Kallinger say about this? Hypo. Go ahead, ma'am. Ibu May Justina.
Yes, ma'am. Speak Indonesia. Indonesia, ma'am. I'm sorry.
No, just read this one, the red one, the red box. A hypothesis is
Looks right. Okay. Fred and
Kallinger.
Kallinger, yeah. Hypothesis is a conjectural statement of the relationship between two or more variables.
That's right. Jadi hipotesa ini conjectural statement ya, between two or
Yes.
more variables. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes,
Ibu May Justina.
Aduh,
Great.
you're welcome, ma'am.
Sangat, Bu.
Okay, ma'am. Siap, ma'am.
Okay. What is the purpose number 1? Could you please read? Bapak Sugeng ya, Zid? Bapak Sugeng, this one? Are you there, Pak Sugeng? Okay. Come on, Pak Sugeng. Could you please read what is the purpose number 1? Okay, no hit. Ibu Rohmatunima, are you there, Ibu?
Yes, Mom.
Okay.
Tujuan pertama ini memberikan arah dan fokus bagi penelitian daripada melakukan eksplorasi yang samar, kemudian bisa mengetahui hubungan apa saja yang sedang diuji oleh peneliti.
Yes, that's right. Very good. So direction and focus ya. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. And then the purpose number 2, Ibu Apriliana. Are you there? Okay. Bapak Hisham? Muhammad Hisham, are you there, Bapak?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead. What is the second purpose? It makes...
Just read.
Yeah.
Just purpose 2.
Yeah.
Okay, purpose 2 is make the study testable. That is, one formulates a statement that can be supported or defeated by empirical data.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, sir. So it makes the study testable, yeah. One formulates a statement. Okay, this is the purpose number 2. How about number 3? Ibu Tri Wayuning Tias, Ibu Tri, are you there?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
So?
Yeah. Purpose number 3, it helps in designing the research, selecting variables, choosing method, and in data analysis as one knows what to look for.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So it help designing ini ya, purpose yang ketiga ini ya. Okay, how about the purpose number 4? Ibu Nova Praja Sandidarta. Oh, sorry. Oh, Mister ya, Mr. Nova. Sorry, Mister. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
go
ma'am.
ahead, Mr. Nova.
If confirmed, it may contribute to theory.
Yes.
Either support, refine, or challenge existing theory.
Yes.
And more broadly, the scientific body of knowledge.
That's right. So if confirm itu it may contribute to theory ya. Penciptaan suatu teori nanti. Either support, refine, or challenge existing theory. That is the purpose number 4. Okay. How about the characteristics of a good hypothesis? What are they? Can you please read? Ibu Nurul, Winda, and Jarwati. Ibu Nurul, what are the
Yes, ma'am.
characteristics? Okay, there are 5.
The characteristic of a good hypothesis as number 1 is clarity and specificity, and
Yes.
number 2 is testability
Yeah.
or falsifiability.
Yes.
Number 3 is based on theory or prior research.
Yeah.
Number 4 is relates measurable variables, and
Yes.
number
And then
4 is simplicity.
that's right. This is the characteristic ya untuk good hypothesis. Thank you Ibu Nurul. Okay, and these are the descriptions ya. I'm going to share these PowerPoints with you ya. So those are the description. How about the types of hypothesis ya? Okay, number A, number 1. Would you please read Ibu Leli? Is it Ibu Leli? Ibu Leli.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you there? Okay, what is that? The null.
Okay. Null hypothesis posits that there is no relationship or difference between variable or not effect.
Or no effect, yeah. Okay, null versus alternative hypothesis. Okay, good. Thank you, ma'am. So, part B, Ibu Sylvia, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, alternative.
Yes. I'm sorry, off cam.
No problem. It's okay. No problem.
Point B is alternative hypothesis. Suggests that there is a relationship or differences. Example, the effect the researchers expect.
That's right. Example?
Example, there is no relationship between anxiety or IQ levels of children. And there is a relationship between anxiety and IQ levels of children.
Yeah, so the null versus alternative hypothesis. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Ibu Leli tadi ya. Okay. How about the C1? Ibu Sylvia, Safa Luffy, are you there?
Oh, yes, I'm again.
Okay.
Okay.
Ya. Oh tadi udah dipanggil ya?
Sudah, Bu.
Sorry. Okay, no. Okay, Mr. Hari, no. Ibu Aris ini ya, Ibu Aris Melina, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How about the C1?
Okay. C, in statistical hypothesis testing, one tests the null hypothesis and either reject it, the supporting the alternative or accept it.
That's right. Okay. Thank you, Ibu Aris Melina. Okay. Now the second one ya, directional versus non-directional. Okay. Part A. Could you please read Ibu Vivin ya? Is it Ibu Vivin Mujirahayu?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Part A. This is part 2A ya, about directional versus non-directional.
Directional hypothesis, one tail specifies the direction of the relationship.
Yes.
Group A will score higher than Group B. Directional versus non-directional. Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Vivin. How about the part B? Ibu Fifitri, are you there? Okay. Ibu Istikasari? Halo? Okay. Ibu Chandra Mayangsari ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How about the B1, non-directional two-tail?
Okay. Part B, non-directional hypothesis, two-tailed, predict a relationship but not the direction. There will be a difference between Group A and Group B. Directional B is non-directional.
That's right. So non-directional hypothesis two-tail ya, tadi one-tail ya. Okay, now the third part is hypothesis of association versus difference and versus causal. Okay. Bapak Muhammad Khairul Amin, are you there? Oh no, not here. Okay. Ibu Rina, are you there, Bu Rina? No, Bu Rina not here.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah, Bu Rina. Okay. But Bu Rina, part A, number 3, part A.
Association hypothesis predict the two variables are relate but not necessarily causally.
That's right. Association hypothesisnya ya. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ibu Rina. How about part B? Ibu Wahyu Nurmalasari. Are you there? Oh, no. Bapak Amin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Bapak Amin, ya, Mister. How about the part B, number 3, part B?
Okay, hypothesis of association versus difference versus causal. Difference hypothesis predicts that one group will differ from another on some variable.
Yes, that's right. Different hypothesis ya. Predicts one group nih ya. Okay, thank you, Mister. How about part C, Ibu Dayu Aryani?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Causal hypothesis predict that one variable causes or influences another.
Nah, itu prediksi ya. One variable cause or influence another. Thank you, ma'am. Part 4 is inductive or deductive ya. Ibu Melinda Maharani? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Inductive versus deductive.
Inductive versus deductive. Deductive hypothesis start from theory. Deductive hypothesis test empirically.
That's right. Thank you, ma'am. Ibu Melinda tadi ya. Okay.
Yes.
Part B is inductive hypothesis ya. Ibu Amana, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is part B, number 4?
Inductive versus deductive. Inductive hypothesis, observation or data lead to a pattern, and a hypothesis is formulated afterward.
Yes, that's right. Di formulasinya setelah itu ya. Okay. So now how to formulate a hypothesis step by step. How to formulate. Hold on. Ini masih kelihatan nggak ini? Can you see?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, still there ya. Hold on. Okay, ini formulating hypothesis step by step over there. Step by step. Okay. Ini kelihatan nih Bapak Ibu ya. Transition.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Step by step apa aja sih tuh di sini? Tuh. Ini ada step-stepnya ya. Identify, review, you define, you state the hypothesis, decide, specify, you plan how to test, and then ensure the operational usability. Ya, itu step-stepnya. Nah, testing and interpretation of hypothesis. After collecting data, statistical or empirical analysis is done to see whether the data to support or do not support the hypothesis. And then in quantitative research, one typically tests the null hypothesis via a statistical test. Yeah. And important to note that failing to reject does not mean it is true. It means there was insufficient evidence to support the alternative. Now also consider errors ya. Type 1 error rejecting the true null hypothesis. Now type 2 error is failing to reject a false null hypothesis. Okay, jadi di sini interpretasinya should link back to the research equation, teori sama prakteknya. Jadi enggak just statistical significance and limitations. Nah, berikutnya relationship between hypothesis research questions dan teori. Apa aja sini? Yaitu research questions-nya, what is the relationship between X and Y? Often they precede hypothesis. Jadi hypothesis ini translate a research question is turned into a predictive statement. And then hypotheses are often grounded in theory, deriving from theoretical frameworks of previous empirical findings. Jadi good research itu design start by using theory to formulate hypothesis. Dan qualitative research itu may be less common or absent because inquiry may be more exploratory and theory building rather than hypothesis testing. Dan example-nya sebagai berikut ya. Ini ada beberapa example di sini. Di bagian educational psychology contohnya independent variable-nya misalnya learning strategy cooperative versus individual. Nah, dependent-nya academic achievement. Type-nya apa nih? Directional causal hypothesis. Terus null hypothesis-nya there is no difference in academic achievement between students using cooperative and individual learning strategies. Alternatifnya apa nih? Students who use cooperative learning strategies achieve higher scores. Jadi contoh hipotesisnya adalah students who use cooperative learning strategies tend to achieve higher academic outcomes than those who study individually. Nah ini ada pasal di sini. Ini saya share all the examples ini ya, contoh-contohnya di sini of research hypothesis. Saya share di sini ya Bapak Ibu ya.
Punya lagi Zoom mana yang tadi bawa?
Ini nanti saya kasih linknya di chat bisa ya, di linknya ya di chat ya.
Gunanya lagi Zoom.
Bentar, ini wait a minute, I'm going to share the link. Ya. Ini di chat kelihatan nggak Bapak Ibu linknya yang PowerPoint yang pertama?
Iya Bu, kelihatan.
Ya oke. Itu nanti di link. Nanti begitu udah selesai kita kuliah, Anda nanti ada waktu just 10 questions you answer it ya dari presentasi yang tadi PPT ya. Nanti saya share ya PPT-nya ya. Bentar. Satu lagi link berikutnya I'm going to share. Hold on. Bagaimana sih mana? Wait. Chat. Chatnya mana nih? Oh ini dia. Okay, that was the first one. This is the second one ya. Kelihatan the second one, Bapak Ibu? Kelihatan ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Oke, alhamdulillah kelihatan ya. Oke. Ini itu nanti ada 10 masing-masing ya question dari PPT itu. Nanti ini saya share kemana ya PPT-nya ini ya? Oh, dari ke sini bisa ya? Tapi nggak bisa nih. Oh, I'm going to share through Mr. Adi ya. Is it okay, everyone?
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm going to share to the both PowerPoints ya. Nanti I'm going to share it there. And then ini saya akan share ini Google Classroom yang ada ininya ya, yang ada the articles ya, ACT ya. Maybe some of you did see all the ACT articles, tapi ini saya mau share ininya ya. Bentar, ini kelihatan nggak ini? Can you see this one? Hold on. Bentar Bapak Ibu ya, bentar ya. Udah ya. Mana tadi ini? Oh ini dia. Oke. Ini nanti akan saya share di sini Bapak Ibu. Bentar mana sih tadi? Ini kelihatan nanti Google Classroom-nya saya akan share. Jadi Bapak Ibu nanti bisa lihat tidak hanya artikel tapi buku-buku juga ya. Nanti saya share di situ, bisa langsung di-download. Ini kelihatan nggak sih Bapak Ibu ini? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, alhamdulillah. Oke. You can see my screen ya. Oke, Anda bisa lihat. Oke, nanti di sini ini di sini nih 1 tahun itu ada 2 volume ya, saya share ya. I'm going to share 2016 and 2015. Ini salah satu contoh daripada ininya articles. Nih. Contohnya misalnya gini nih, ini ada satu. Nah, ini kelihatan nggak di sini? Artikelnya kelihatan Bapak Ibu?
Iya, kelihatan, Mak.
Oke. Coba ini sebentar aja nih. Siapa namanya? Ibu Dewi Suciati, are you there, Ibu? Oke. Ibu Nur Huda, are you there? Oh, Bapak, aduh maaf. Oh, Bapak ya, Bapak Nur Huda ya. Oke. Bapak, are you there, Pak? Oh, ya. Outside. Okay, never mind. I'm going to call the other one. Ibu Siti Kamdia is here? No? Okay, nggak lagi. Okay, then. So Ibu Mustiana ya, are you there, Ibu? Halo? Oh, Ibu Piati ya, Piati Puspita Sari? Are you there? Bu Nur Ania? Bu Nur Ania, are you there, Ibu? Not here? Oke. I think aktif nih ya, student aktif nih Bu Korota ya. Bu Korota Yumin ya? Still there ya, Ibu? Okay, can you please read the title of the articles? Nah, di sini nih Anda bisa baca nih di sini nih ya. Itu abstraknya itu mengenai apa sih ini articles ini, how do you do the introduction, and what is the goals for this, the aim of this research question, how is the methods, and then the participants and the data collection and strategies, and then the results ya. Ini salah satu contoh ya, contoh semua artikel dari ACT ya, Bapak Ibu ya. And the last one, the conclusion. Bisa juga ada discussion juga ya, biasanya ya. Oke, and all the references. Jadi dari sini nanti dapat gambaran suatu saat nanti buat seminar proposal. Jadi you know how to do. Oke, ini I'm going to share ini maybe melalui itu ya, Google Classroom-nya. Jadi nanti bisa dilihat di situ. Plus all the books ya, Bapak Ibu ya. I'm going to share. Ini kelihatan nggak ini nih, Bapak Ibu? Masih kelihatan nggak?
Kelihatan, Bu.
Okay. Nah, this is all the books ya. I'm going to share to you. I think it's around 25 to 30 books ya mengenai metode penelitian ya. Nanti saya share semua ini ke Anda ya. Jadi nanti di sini dapat gambaran ya untuk metodologi penelitian. Jadi luas wawasannya. Mungkin ada beberapa yang Anda sudah banyak semuanya. Ini saya cuma nambahin aja. Ini beberapa gitu Bapak Ibu ya di sini. Tadi mana sih tadi? Stop ini mana? Stop. Oke. Nah, nanti saya share nanti itu di ini aja ya Ibu Bapak Ibu ya, di mana? WhatsApp-nya Bapak Adi ya.
Adi.
Ya,
Yes, ma'am.
ya. Dan ini nanti kalau udah selesai ini langsung kalau memang seandainya memungkinkan, kalau enggak bisa besok pagi. Ya question and answer-nya. Jadi saya bisa lihat 10 question dari setiap PowerPoint. Oke, ini Bapak Ibu kira-kira gimana nih? Nanti ke depan insya Allah kalau memang seandainya ada beberapa pertanyaan atau discussions, itu bisa email ke saya ya Bapak Ibu ya di sini ya. If you have any questions regarding the methodology, wait. Bisa ke sini ya terus. Oke, ini kelihatan my email? Can you see from the chat?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can send me there. We can communicate through email. Oke, ini kira-kira Bapak Ibu, ini terima kasih sekali saya diberi kesempatan hari ini, malam ini. Alhamdulillah semuanya hampir hadir semua ya hari ini ya.
Hadir, ma'am.
Ada beberapa yang ini ya, yang absent ya. Ya udah tidak apa-apa. It's okay. Thank you Bu Korota. Thank you for the heart. Oke. So ini sekali lagi saya terima kasih banyak ke Bapak Adi, semua mahasiswa di sini. Jangan bosan-bosan untuk communication kalau memang seandainya mau diskusi nanti ya, kita ke depannya. Kalau misalnya ada pertanyaan atau apa dan memang saya ada ininya, sources-nya, insya Allah nanti saya akan share. Nah nanti untuk PowerPoint-nya sama link book sama link artikelnya akan saya share through WhatsApp-nya Bapak Adi. Ya Bapak Adi ya, itu oke Bapak?
Terima kasih Ibu Inji. Terima kasih sekali. Terima kasih sekali para mahasiswa banyak mendapatkan ilmu hari ini, apalagi banyak referensinya kan gitu.
Iya, ya Bapak, ya. Insya Allah Pak, nanti ke depan nanti saya ada terbaru referensi itu artikel atau apa, nanti insya Allah nanti akan saya share ke Bapak Adi untuk semua mahasiswa di sini. Sekali lagi mohon maaf lahir batin Bapak Ibu kalau saya banyak salahnya, banyak kekurangannya.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
See you next time ya.
See you.
Ya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ya, thank you everyone. Izin ya Bapak Adi.
Terima kasih. Terima kasih. Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih, Bu.
Baik, para mahasiswa semua, ini ya demikian ya dari Bu Dr. Yonia. Bapak dan Ibu sekalian nanti mendapatkan banyak referensi yang nantinya bisa untuk melengkapi proposal penelitiannya, apalagi itu resources-nya dari ICT semua itu. Jadi organisasi profesi teknologi pendidikan sedunia. Kebetulan itu juga sudah menjalin hubungan dengan IPTPI Indonesia. Jadi demikian ya Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, saya mengucapkan terima kasih atas perhatiannya. Saya ucapkan wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih, thanks, Mister.
Monggo Bapak Ibu.
Bu Yuni jawab